Come on in, come on in. Yes, it's another edition of the Weekly Entertainment News Podcast. I'm your brother Hiram Akeem, and once again, I'm in the building. Yo, hit that select button, hit that share button, and hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? I really want you guys to do that. It's very important that you do. Don't forget, I am your brother Hiram Akeem with the Reporter newspaper and with the Reporter newspaper online.com. For those of you who don't know, it's Akron, Ohio's Black-owned publication. Been in business for over 50 years. And we're trying to continue that tradition by bringing it to you online and in visual form as well. Now, you know, when you see me, you got to be dealing with the entertainment portion of the news. And I got to give it to you, man. We give it to you from a cultural perspective, hip-hop perspective, and we also dabble in some sports. Speaking about sports, since we talk about sports, we kind of biased over here. I gotta keep it a buck. We talk about them Cleveland Browns, right? We're in Akron, Ohio, which is a football's throw from Cleveland. That's right. So right around in these parts, Cleveland is the main thing, right? And speaking about the Browns, right? We got to talk about my man, the nephew, the superstar, the phenom. Shedeur Sanders is in the news. And he always is in the news. He's doing a lot of great things off the field, right? I just see my brother got his little haircut, got a little taper style. You know, big ups to my man with that. But he stopped in Boulder, Colorado to see his father, primetime Deion Sanders. And it looks like he bought a receiver with them, okay? Looked like it was Cage Lavadale that he brought him and to keep up on some passing. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you're going to be QB1, you got to let them know that, hey, I'm practicing even when you're not. While you sleeping, I'm creeping. You know what I'm saying? I'm making some moves. Now, this is not new for Shedeur Sanders. We know, if you've been following like me, we know that he's been always practicing during the offseason. Unfortunately, last year, he had to practice with some bums. I didn't say that. He had to practice with whoever he could practice with. Now, he's practicing with some Cleveland Browns. And I believe this tradition is going to continue during the course of the offseason and as we go into training camp as well. But the big news is about him. We talked about this earlier, but it's about him changing his number from 12 to number 2. Are you guys going to buy that jersey? I believe you are. I believe this is going to set a record, beating out the record that he set last year with his number 12 jersey. And however, I believe, like a lot of people believe, this here will stay a new beginning for the young star Shedeur Sanders, bringing him back to his old number, his traditional number that he had back down the Wheel of Time, and also showing love and the connection between him and his father, because we know his father was wearing the number 2 in Florida State. So he want to continue that. I believe this is like psychological for the brother. He got his number, and he didn't do all that great, although he made some noise bearing witness or leaving a clear path to him being QB number 1. I believe him back in his right number is going to put him back in his right mind and hopefully show some good things. So big ups to that. And also, I want to know if you guys will buy the number 12 jersey. The number 2 jersey, like you bought the number 12. Put it in the comments. Let somebody know what's going on, right? We're going to stay with the quarterbacks a little bit. It looks like people are getting kind of confused with this here, quote unquote, who's going to be the QB1. I keep telling you guys, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that I believe the Cleveland Browns in Berea, the Cleveland Browns and their location is putting out to the media to kind of mislead people, to not allow so much stress to be on Shedeur Sanders as well and on the organization coming from the Kevin Stefanski era. I believe they're trying to make it run smoother. However, your boy, you already know, it was the owners meeting somewhere in Arizona recently, I think over this past weekend, and they caught whim of your boy saying something to the effect, and I'm talking about the owner, that he's sounding like he's doubling back a little bit when it comes to Deshaun Watson. He's saying something to the effect of, you know, Deshaun was once that guy. And it would be almost silly not to give him the benefit of the doubt if he's healthy to come here and give him a shot. Ain't nothing wrong with him trying to recapture what he once had and it'll benefit the Browns if it does. And some people are looking at that as, so are you saying you will start Deshaun over your boy? Well, a lot of people are saying that it's possible that Deshaun Watson can get the start or get the QB1 position over Shedeur Sanders because of the money that is owed, and if he can capture his glory years. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Shedeur is the guy. I think he's the QB1. I think it's too much possible money that can be earned with Shedeur being the starter. Okay, money that's already spent is money that's already spent. To kind of counteract the money that's spent, you want to roll with something that can generate money. Hell, he got over 230 million or generated 230 million or over 230 million on the jerseys alone last year. Hence the man's contract, Deshaun Watson contract was 230 or whatever. I know my numbers is off a little bit, but you get what I'm saying, right? Okay, listen, we're going to keep it with the Browns, man. We're going to keep it with the Browns and talk about Myles Garrett. As you can tell, especially up in this area, in this particular demographic, Akron, Cleveland area, all the radio stations, all the podcasters, or whatever the hell are trying to say that the Cleveland Browns should trade Myles Garrett for draft collateral. I said not collateral, but draft money. You know what I'm saying? I said, what the hell? So I'm seeing a lot of different podcasts talking about that. I'm like, who in the hell, who started this? Why do you think as we trying to mount up that powerful offensive line that we're doing, as we trying to mount up the team, getting young people, that's the theory, we're going with young people, why should we sell off one of the best players in NFL history when it comes to Myles Garrett, right? I think people are just literally trying to be shall I say fake or faux Andrew Berry's, or you know what I mean? Fake people who's doing business moves on the behalf of just saying, I'm just doing business moves, okay? That's what I believe. I don't think it really makes sense. Although I hear a lot of people's arguments on how it can give us maybe 2 number ones in the first round, 2 or 3 in first round choices and stuff like that. But I think it's kind of stupid. I think we need to go where we're going. So much so, that's my personal thought on it. But it looks like my man, Andrew Berry, okay, was caught. And you know who Andrew Berry is. He's the guy that makes all the moves for the Cleveland Browns. Said recently, this past weekend, that Myles Garrett is one of the faces of the team, and he's a Brown forever until he retires. And he said he's not going to spend too much time talking about that, shutting all BS down. Big ups to my man, Andrew Berry. Big ups to him. All right. Listen, we got to talk about the Reporter newspaper real quick. I just got to give it to you. You know, I am blessed enough to be dealing with the Reporter newspaper, and they give you all the Shedeur news that I was just talking about, all the entertainment news and everything. They want to invite you to check them out online. Now, you know you can get the newspaper in a tangible form around this area, but let's just say if you don't live in this area and you want to check out what's happening and get some of this good quality news, go to the reporternewspaperonline.com, just like that, the reporternewspaperonline.com, so you can see what's happening, not just on this continent, but throughout the diaspora and Africa as well. You can find out what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on, and hell, if it's affecting black people, the Reporter newspaper got you covered, okay? Listen, let's go into a little bit of entertainment before I get out of here, okay? Now, I'm gonna call this politics and hip hop.
Aha.
What's going on with all the black celebs dabbing in politics? Here's what we're talking about here, okay? Every time you turn around, you're seeing people like TLC's Chili. Somebody like Nick Cannon is speaking up. You already know. Waka Flocka Fang's been talking about this stuff. Drewski always doing something controversial when it comes to the political landscape. But a lot of people, especially like I said, my man Joe Brown said on last podcast, that we should not be looking at entertainers. He's saying this in so many words. I'm just piggybacking and elaborating? Why are we looking at these rappers to point us in a direction on where we need to go, or looking at these actors and singers and whoever the hell, pointing us as a community on where we need to go when it comes to political views? Now, we do know influence and influencers, they influence. That's the root word of influencers, is to influence. But you, black man, you, black woman, have to know and understand when you are truly being influenced. As a grown person sitting at home looking at videos all day or looking at social media all day, you're a grown person. Don't think you can't be influenced, okay? Don't think you can't be influenced. You're not a child, but your brain works like a sponge. You can claim you ain't paying no attention to it, but it's in there. So when it comes to formulating, a lot of us are like children when it comes to politics or political views, right? So what we have to do is do our own due diligence, do our own studying, and get our own thought process, or get behind somebody that's a leader in the field. If you're talking religion, you want to get with somebody that can be your spiritual father, okay? And you follow behind him, and he can guide you, okay? If you're talking about the politics, same thing. Get with somebody that you can trust, that speaks to you, and that you can relate to, and get behind that person and follow his or her views to the point where you can understand what it is you want to do individually. Listen, looks like Snoop Dogg's in the news.
Surprise!
All right, Snoop Dogg's got a brand new project out. Came out over the weekend on YouTube, on the YouTubular. It's called 10 to Midnight. Now, the thing I like about Snoop Dogg, when he put out a brand new album, 10 to Midnight, which is the name of the project that's coming out, he puts it out in content form. This dude got like a whole movie, and it's filled with nothing but his music. It's like a 26-minute lovely movie with his music filled in there with actors and everything. Snoop Dogg is double timing doing playing twin brothers. So I thought it was interesting as well. As of today, he got 2 places where you can see it on YouTube. The Death Row YouTube channel and the Snoop Dogg TV YouTube channel. One channel got 137,000 views over the weekend. Another channel got 188,000 views over the weekend. Combined together, that's how many people watch Snoop Dogg. I was checking out an interview about this particular project that Snoop Dogg just did. And Snoop said, I love the arts. I love making music. I love going around representing music. And he says, when you love a thing, you got to do a thing. So he don't just only like being out in the public eye, doing things for the youth and doing his football league, acting and stuff like that. He said, I am Snoop Dogg. I'm a rapper. And I still got the itch to rap because I love making music. Big up to Snoop Dogg for making this thing. Check out 10 to Midnight on your YouTube channel. And support the album as well, where all albums can be gotten. Or should I say downloaded. I can go on with this all the time, but instead, I'm going to take a pause right quick, right? And make this thing happen. And don't forget, I do this thing every single week. Almost sounds like every single day. But we do it a couple of times a week here at Akron Hip Hop TV. Until next time, have some fun and get something done. Peace.
Can't beef with me, whole nother frequency, bitch, G-O-D, what the fuck is a mug? Nigga be fake, won't leave him snuggly, he undercover, then fuck it, we talking a minute. It's on in this stuff, nigga, fuck is you saying? Bird, bitch, get your skull. We ain't going back and forth by the door, we ain't going back and forth by the door. Wash, halu, ella, ilaha, illallah, we come in the name of the source. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, we flipping niggas out the porch. Niggas in Paris, somebody Ye and J version, boss whole Jane Harden, but they think they the highest. We locking them up, you get caught with the smoke, get your flame darkened. They shooting shot, but I ain't far, just fuck around, hit the same target back to back.